Good men are hard to find. I totally agree with you. Good men are hard to find because good men aren't looking for you. Good men are hard to find because good men are busy working, climbing corporate ladders, chasing success, building businesses, building themselves and their future. Good men are hard to find because good men don't do nightclubs, strip joints, on dating apps, on Instagram, liking women pictures sliding in their DMs. Good men don't find their women that way. Low value men do. Good men are just like good women. They are very selective in their personal search. They're not turned on by women with big butts, big tits, and who have the intelligence of a rock. Instagram models do not impress them. They have outgrown that phase of their life. Good men don't settle down with women who are not in alignment with their future goals. Good men do not settle with women that they can't grow with and become their best self, because they know selecting the wrong woman, just like selecting the wrong man, can be detrimental to their success and their overall well-being. So yes, I totally agree with you. Good men are hard to find because good men are setting themselves up for a good woman to become a good husband. Be smart, day smart, choose wisely, that nation. And remember, I told you.
Hey, welcome to Let's Glow with Nini. I'm Nini, and let's get straight into this video.
Divas, I'm going to give you 5 top characteristics of what oftentimes are in a good man. The first characteristic is that he has character. That means that he's willing to do the right thing even when nobody is looking. The second characteristic is that he is responsible. How does this man take care of his bills? How does he take care of his children? If he is not a good father to his children, then trust and believe he is not going to be a good man to you. The third characteristic of a man that oftentimes makes a good man is that he's a gentleman. He's the kind of man that will open your door. He's the kind of man that loves pouring into a woman and treating a lady like a lady. The fourth characteristic of a good man is that he is a provider mindset man. That's the kind of man that wants to pay for the date, that wants to provide, that wants to give you the soft life. He's the kind of guy that willingly gives you gifts without you having to ask, and it actually makes him feel good to do that. And then the last but not least top characteristic that you want in the man is that he's the kind of man that you can be in partnership with. He's not arrogant. He's not this kind of man that bangs on his chest and acts like he knows everything. He's the kind of man that you can build something with. He can take constructive criticism, and he can give it with kindness. If you have a man like this, then ladies, hold on to him, because that is a real man you want to marry.
Good man, but he's not your type.
When it comes to types, okay, because we talked about this the last time, it's a pattern when it comes to your type, patterns and characteristics, okay? These are things that you have seen or that you have explored before. You probably seen mama, auntie, friends, somebody who had a specific type, or somebody in the neighborhood and you was like, oh, that's a bad boy, that's a dope boy, that's something like that. I like that because of the thrill. In certain spaces in your life, you cannot bring that type with you. So if you see that all other characteristics and behaviors are good, why does the type even matter? You can learn to love this person in other spaces outside of what you see as far as physicalities. If you're talking about a type because maybe your type has a certain type of demeanor, or maybe your type looks a certain type of way, what is going to matter when you start facing conflict? The way they look? When you start going through communication barriers, the way they look? All of that's not going to matter. I can guarantee you the majority of people who have probably married or entered into healthy relationships, they weren't worried about a type. When they got to a certain space, they were worried about what it is that you can actually bring into my life. And as far as your looks and stuff, that just doesn't matter. How much money? Yeah, of course. But if we're looking at types who say, oh, he a dreadhead, oh, he's 6 foot something, and everything else. Derek Jackson is 6 foot something. That was cheating on his wife the whole time.
Oh, no.
And we hate to name drop here.
Oh, was I not supposed to name drop?
No, you good, you good.
I'm sorry.
5 signs he's a good man. And this first one, y'all gonna laugh at me, but I want y'all to really think about this, y'all, because it happens all the time. Number 1, he has a job. Yes, he's gainfully employed, or he has a reliable source of income coming in. I want y'all to really think about this. Why would a man date you if he can't afford you? It's because he's playing a game. He's hoping you get emotionally attached, and at some point you feel badly for him and start supporting him. Number 2, good men are boring as hell. And that's because they don't have time to play games. They are too focused on their job, stacking cash, and preparing for a future wife. Number 3, he respects you. And that's because he believes in do unto others as you will have them do unto you. There is nothing more important to a man than being respected, especially by a woman. Number 4, he is genuinely interested in you. He wants to know, what makes you feel loved? What do you desire for the future? He is interested in you. Number 5, he's all about improving himself, improving the ones he loves. He's not stagnant. He doesn't just sit down and take life as it comes. He wants to be improved, and he wants the best for you, and he wants the best for himself.
The part they don't tell you about getting a good man is this. You're going to come to the realization that none of them, I mean, none of those men ever really liked you. They might have been infatuated by you. They might have liked to canoodle with you. They might have even liked how you looked. But actually liked you? No, sirskis. And then on top of that, now you have to unlearn a lot of your behaviors because you've been on guard so long waiting for the other shoe to drop, and this man is not on that. So you can't treat him like that. You bring up an issue, and normally you're used to having to just talk it out and that man just listening to you, sitting by, watching you struggle. You bring your issue to a man that like you. Oh, what can we do? How are we fixing it? Instead of constantly trying to hint at what you need, this man is already getting it done for you. Yeah. Anyways, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day.
As women are asked what type of man we want, I feel like this is a characteristic that is not talked about enough. The woman, as far as listing what she wants in a man, you rarely hear this characteristic. And it's top 2 for me. First is a man of God. A man after God's own heart. That's number 1, of course. Number 2, a disciplined man. Why nobody talk about how important it is for a man to be disciplined? It's everything. Let me tell you why it's important. First of all, discipline is one of the fruits of the spirit. Discipline is equivalent to self-control. It's like self-discipline, self-control. They're like brother and sister, or sister and sister, or first cousins. Like, they're related. It's important to be with a disciplined man, because if that man is not disciplined when it comes to himself, why you think he gonna be disciplined when it come to you? Discipline is literally related to self-control. Discipline can also be related to motivation, can also be related to consistency. Like, they all in the family together. Think about a man being disciplined is it's something that you can see. See, a lot of men are able to talk their way into the life of a woman, and it sounds good, but you're able to see this fruit. You're able to see if he's disciplined or not by his actions. And the thing about discipline and why it's so good is because if he's disciplined in his own life, then you know with adding him to your life, he's going to bring that same characteristic. So a prime example, a man that says he works out, but he's not consistent with his routine. He lacks discipline. He lacks consistency. Don't be surprised if he start lacking consistency when it comes to you. He lacks self-control. He can't even keep a promise to himself. Hello? Clock it. He say he want to change his diet and eat better, but every time you turn around, he's having a cheat day. I know you think it's funny, but it's not funny. I'm not ha-haing or kikiing. It ain't nothing funny about it. Because the thing is, if you lack discipline when it comes to something that you want to do for you, this is a promise that you made to yourself. If you can't keep a promise to yourself, you don't have self-control to keep a promise to yourself. You lack motivation when it comes to yourself. What you gonna do when it come to me? If you don't love you, come on, y'all. Like, let's really think about how many areas of our life require discipline. when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your health, the food that you put in your body, when it comes to working out. I need you to be disciplined when you're in a room full of women that's trying to talk to you. I need that discipline and that self-control to come out. I need you to be disciplined when it comes to your relationship with God. I need you to go to church even when you don't feel like it. I need you to be disciplined when it comes to work. I need you to get up because you're the provider. I need you to be disciplined when it comes to showing up and being a man and being a head of the household when it seems like a lot is on you because you're a father figure to our future children. I need you to be disciplined because I need my son to see what discipline looks like. Discipline. It's not talked about enough. I'm trying to tell y'all, add it to the list. It need to be at the top. Man of God, discipline / self-control / motivated / consistent. That needs to be over everything else. A disciplined man is a paid man because he get up and go to work. He's disciplined when it comes to his purpose. He's disciplined when it comes to the vision that God has for his life. So some fruits lead to physical fruit. You know, if he's disciplined when it comes to his job and disciplined when it comes to what God is calling him to do, he's going to receive fruit, which will be finances, but it's going to be birthed through his discipline, his self-control, his integrity, his determination. Come on, y'all. We got to stop just looking at the physical. What's going on up here?
A woman once asked me, what does a good man look like? First and foremost, a good man submits himself to God. A good man, once married, becomes a student of his wife. A good man listens to understand, because with understanding comes patience. A good man serves his wife. He has a conversation with her and not at her. He learns her dreams and goals and makes sure that it's incorporated into the family's dreams and goals. A good man will lead with wisdom, communicate with love, and he will put forth the effort to build the family or rebuild the family if necessary. A good man will love his wife like Christ loved the church. That's to death. A good man doesn't have telepathy. A good man is more solution-based, more solution-driven. A good man is also humble. He'll do whatever it takes to make his family successful. A good man will also do whatever it takes to protect his family. That's why one of the most dangerous places for you to be is between a man and the well-being of his family. A good man usually uses we and us verbiage when it pertains to the financial structure of the house. Even if he is the sole independent provider for the family, he will still say we and us. Because a good man knows that even though his wife isn't adding to the bank accounts physically, we are aware that her pleasant presence or her comforting spirit or her peaceful love is something that we need. And that's one thing that we can't create on our own. Money can't buy that. And that's the reason why you won't never hear a good man say, I don't need a woman. Because we know the value of a good woman. A good man also knows his value. He won't be in a place that he is being devalued, disrespected, or not appreciated. Especially not for a long period of time. Now, if that is the case and the pressure is applied long term, he will retreat into himself to preserve his character and his integrity until the situation is resolved, because a good man also knows that the situation is temporary and maintaining the family structure is most important. Good man doesn't go fight the world to provide for his family for him. We want to sleep in sometimes too, because we do it for our family. A good man also knows that he's an extension of you, a representation of you in public, online, social media, just like you're a representation of him. He knows the way that he carries himself in public is a direct reflection of his family. Always working on himself, because a good man isn't perfect, but he is a man of integrity, morals, accountability. So when he falls, he gets back up, a better man than before. Now that's a good man. Think about it.
It's easier to date a fraud than it is to date a real one. I've been together with my man now for going on about 5 years. And when I tell you that is a good man, that is a good man. However, can I keep it a buck with y'all? Because you know my honesty is all I have. Good men are not perfect men. I don't say that as a diss to any man, to any good man, to my man. I say it as a reality check for the babes. Because when I first started dating him, which feels like no time at all, but it was 5 years ago, and that was my first relationship. I had been in situationships, but nothing serious. It wasn't his first. So I would make comments like, you are literally so perfect. And this is like 1 year into our relationship. And I noticed that he'd always snicker to himself and be like, I'm not perfect. At first I was like, what in the self-sabotage? I said, this is a compliment, baby. Take it. He'd always just like laugh it off or whatever and just be like, I'm telling you, I'm not perfect, but thank you though. It wasn't until later on in the relationship that I understood why he did that. This was probably like almost 2 years in, and I had a little bit of a reality check where I was like, oh, this man isn't perfect. However, the very thing he was trying to avoid, I had fallen into, of expecting perfection. So when he was a human, I was so shocked and taken aback. And he was like, but I told you I wasn't. And you having this standard of expectation of me allows me no room to be human. And I was like, oh my freaking days. 2, a good man will require you to be a good woman. And that won't always be easy. We ain't always as perfect as we think we are. It's a shock to me. But when you're with a man that requires you to be held accountable for your actions, or to apologize when you were wrong, or to notice that you played a part in it just like he did, that the good woman in you will be tested just a little bit. And last but not least, a good man will not always be easy to date or be married to. And I'm not even talking about the fact that sometimes they're going to piss you off because that's what comes with being in a relationship. No, I'm talking about the fact that it is a lot easier to date a fraud than it is to date a real one. Because a real man will be real with you and showing you his flaws. And he'll be vulnerable with you. And he'll tell you when he's not feeling the strongest or the manliest. And you also, as a good woman and the right partner for a good man, have to kind of be ready to not abuse that. But we're not ready for that conversation yet.
And I'm going to say this. There's a difference between a good man and a God man. I've met a lot of good men. Because honestly speaking, I wouldn't even tolerate a bad man. You would have to do a great job of pretending to be a good man to even get in my presence as a bad man. Point blank, period. But let's talk about it for a little bit. The good man, he's caring. Yep, he's caring, he's kind, he's considerate, he's loyal, he's trustworthy. He may take you out. He may look at your interests, your likes, things as such. I've dated really good men. Really. But honestly speaking, the God-fearing man is the one that I want. Along with those other things. But I also know in order to attract that type of man, you need to be that type of woman. A lot of my friends be like, how you get a man to do the stuff they be doing for you? To me, that's the bare minimum. Taking me out, buying me flowers, treating me good, that's the bare minimum. In order to be around me, you have to treat me well. That's all I know is good treatment. I wouldn't even entertain anything less. So when some people say that, I'll be like, okay, well, that's regular stuff. Spending money, that's regular stuff to me. I spend money on myself. That's regular. I treat myself well, if that's what we're considering treating yourself well. A good person is all in what you value. If I value money, you giving me money will make you a good person. If I value sex, us having sex will make you a great person. If I value dates and flowers, then you getting me flowers and taking me on dates would make you a good person. But I like to dig deep and pay attention to other things. How do you treat the waiter or waitress when we're out? I pay attention to the man that holds his head down when he's talking to another man who's a waiter. I pay attention to the man that say, hey, can you get us this? Can you get us that? I pay attention to tone. How do you treat somebody who you think is serving you? Because me being your woman, I like acts of service. And in terms, I will end up serving you at times. How do you treat somebody that you don't even know? That offers you nothing? Because you could pretend to offer me everything and be somebody you're not. I'm just saying. How do you talk to your family? What's the relationship you have with your mother and your family? Are you trying to get closer to them? Or do you care at all? Because one day I'll become family and I'll ask why you're not getting closer to me. And you'll say, because I don't care at all. I'm just saying. How are you really managing your money? Are you splurging to impress me? Because impressing me has nothing to do with splurging your money. I had a guy do a lot of things for me one time, right? And so he said one of his family members asked him, oh, who is this girl? You're doing so much for her. Who is she? They said, we've never met this girl and you care about her so much. And he told me, he said this one thing that I'll never forget. He said he told them back, how do you know I care about her just because I got all that stuff? I could just be doing it to do it. I never forgot that. A man could sit around you and just be doing it to do it. Literally. I know like anybody else, if you have money, you will spend money. It's nothing. And this is only part one.
This one is for all the ladies out there. If you're looking for a man, if you're not married, or if you are married and you have a husband that I'm going to describe now, you hold on to that man. If you're not married, look for such a man. Let me lay the foundation here first. Today in Western civilization, if you look at the United States, Canada, Europe, especially Australia, New Zealand, we are breeding a lot of feminine men. And we are breeding a generation of men that feels like if they participate in the race, they need to get a certificate. They don't have to work anymore to win the race. by just participating, you need to get a certificate. We're raising a generation of men that's more concerned about the skincare products that they're using, the type of shoes that they're wearing, the clothing. And I'm not saying men shouldn't take care of themselves. I'm just saying that there's a shift of focus that has happened in the whole manhood world over the last couple of decades. And there's a massive push towards breaking men down so that society is filled with a lot of feminized men that cannot protect their families, that cannot stand, that cannot protect their children and raise their children according to good morals, values, and ethics. And so this has been a major attack. And the thing is this, if you're looking for a husband and a man, and you find someone that has gone through a lot of trials and difficulties in his life, there's been hardships, and maybe even this man has been broken at times, but yet that man decided, I'm not going to remain lying down. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to work through that, and I'm going to allow the trials and the tribulations and the things that's coming against me, the resistance of life. I'm going to use that in order to help shape my character so that I can mature and become a better person. That man, that quality trait is praiseworthy. Because today, men give up before they even try. Because society is built in such a way that if it doesn't come easy, just leave it, just ignore it. But that's not how life works. If you are married, you want a husband that is willing and able to go through the difficult times, that can be the buffer to absorb the hardship that comes towards the family, and that can protect his wife and his children. That's the type of man that you want to marry. And that's the type of man that's worthy of praise. And I'm not saying that that man will do everything right. I'm just saying that if you want to know the true character of a man, you put him under pressure. Because it's under pressure that character is revealed. And if you are married to or you are looking for a husband that has gone through the trials of life and that has been broken and that is carrying the scars of hardships and suffering, and yet got up and decided to continue in life and to face the next obstacle and to break through that and face the next one and stand and be a good husband, be a good father, that man is worth holding on to with everything you have. And again, I'm not saying that he's perfect, but I'm saying that character of being able to endure, to develop resilience, because that's what a lot of men is lacking these days. They lack resilience, the ability to bounce back when they've gone through hardships. Because if you have someone, and if you're looking for a husband, and you can find someone that has suffered in life, that's gone through hardships, which is good for a man. I believe that going through difficult times, it's good for men because it shapes character. There's lessons to learn in hardship that you cannot learn in times of peace, in times where things just go easy and it just comes your way. There's something about hardship that can shape the character of a man if he's willing to learn the lessons in and through that hardship. And it's not a negative thing. It's good. Because what do you learn? You learn things like discipline. All right? A man without discipline is not worth much. Okay? That's why today we find boys in men's bodies. You find men, they 30, 40, 50 years old, but yet they act like children. They're not mature. Their character is not developed. And very often that happens because they've never been through difficulty. I mean, real difficulty in life. Because it's the difficult times that will teach you resilience. It is the difficult times that will help you if you apply discipline and to continue to be disciplined to get through that. To develop problem-solving skills and to develop humility. A lot of men, if they're like, I can do everything, I can do this, I'm the best, I'm this, that's probably the man who's never really suffered. Because true humility comes when you realize that, listen, life can throw a curveball at you, and at many times that curveball might come and it's going to break you. I have been broken many times in my life, and I mean really broken. It took me sessions and sessions of counseling just to try to recover of the things that I had to face and I had to endure. But deep inside, there's a thing that I'm going to get up and I'm going to continue because there's no other choice. All right? There's no other choice. You have to get up. All right? You have to move forward. And I just want to encourage the ladies out there that if you're looking for a man and you find a man that has been through the hardships, maybe he grew up poor, maybe he didn't have a father figure in his life, maybe he has faced the most terrible persecution, and maybe he has tried at business and failed and tried again and failed and tried again, but there's a determination to make it. That's a very good quality. It's a very, very good quality. All right? And I want to encourage you with that. Respect that. Honor that. And support such a man, because with a man that's willing to go through hardships and trials and not give up, and to still try to be, to the best of his ability, a good husband, a good father, a good friend, that is noteworthy.